guys, welcome back to another Oskiesy video. Today is a really exciting video because I'm going to be taking you along with me to a work experience trip that I have in none other than the Gemelli Hospital in Rome. It's a really exciting opportunity and I'm going to be spending about a week having a bit of experience in different departments, to see if certain departments are going to be for me, but also to have a little bit of clinical experience so that I can link something that I've read in my textbook to something I would have seen. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So my mornings would start by coming in for the ward rounds. So during ward rounds, you review patients and you see if there have been any changes overnight. And when you're on placement, it's a great opportunity to take part in because it'll teach you about the management of so many conditions. So today we're in the section of the hospital where we are revisiting endocrinology patients after they've had surgeries or they've come in with acute conditions. Here in Italy, the doctors all wear white. So I've got my Cardiff badge on me, as well as my stethoscope and my FFP2 mask. And of course, no trip to Italy would be complete without experiencing the whole coffee culture, especially in a hospital. And are you really in Italy if they're not making fresh pizza in the canteen? So today I've been fortunate enough to be able to sit in on a couple of private appointments. We're able to see a lot of patients with hypothyroid and hyperthyroid problems. It helped me to appreciate the extent of hereditary factors on conditions, especially relating to the thyroid. It also allowed me to see how important support groups are to patients, whether that be speaking to people within their family or even with other people who have similar conditions. Even though we are healthcare professionals and we have studied these conditions, nothing can compare to speaking to someone who is going through the same thing that you are. To say thank you, one of the patients even left these biscuits. Understandably, as a second year medical student, I'm not really going to understand everything that everyone's saying, but if I give you any advice, try not to shy away from experiences that come your way, even though you don't feel that you're competent enough to understand everything they're going to be talking about, because it's only through immersing yourself in situations like this that you're really going to be able to learn. So if I could encourage you to do anything today, it would be to try and put yourself in a position of your learning that makes you feel uncomfortable, to try and do even just 1% of the thing that you've been putting off because you don't think you'll be good at it, or because you don't think you'll understand it, because it's only through the small increments that you can get to the larger increments. Okay, so now I've just had a little bit of a break in between listening to appointments, and so I had a little bit of time to kill. I saw lots of these bookcases everywhere. One of the doctors that I was shadowing suggested that I pick up one of them. I was fortunate enough that he had a flick through the bookcase and suggested one of them to me, which was this one here. Something that might be worth doing if you're shadowing, and maybe asking the person who you're shadowing about a textbook that they found really helpful when studying. Having a textbook that has been trialed and tested from someone who's an expert in their field is always a great asset to have. Today was super interesting, so we spent the majority of the part this morning doing lots of thyroid ultrasounds, and for someone who knew absolutely nothing about reading an ultrasound, I came out of it having a couple of basic skills which will be really great to bounce off of when I start to do placement. The doctors there were super nice, were super patient with me and kept answering all my questions. Especially due to COVID, I haven't really had much experience on what students really do on placement, as well as how they learn and how they take the most out of the experience that they possibly can. Today I met a 5th year medical student who was on placement, and something I noticed she did, that she had a little A5 booklet in her pocket, small enough to be able to fit in whichever clothes that she'd wear for placement, and every time the doctor would mention something, she'd have her notebook and write it down, so that then when it comes to her exam, she can easily flick through the booklet and see which skills she found that related to certain specialties. Unfortunately now the time has come for me to have to go home. It's just an incredible trip and I'm going to miss it so much, and I'll be able to take everything that I've learned from this week. Hopefully in the future. It's been lovely to get down people's numbers and emails, and hopefully one day to be able to meet up again and talk about everything that's happened. I'm sat here in the airport and I have ordered an espresso, even though I don't really like coffee, but I feel like I can't really leave Italy without having got a coffee. So I'm just waiting here for my gate and hopefully come back at some point again soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully you guys learned something. So hopefully until the next video, I will see you guys soon.